Kate here with EcoTech Marine, and I got Patrick Clasen, one of the founders of EcoTech, and I am glad to have you here.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm going to ask you some fun questions so people can get to learn a little bit more about you. So let's roll into this. Where are you from?
Where am I from? St. Louis, Missouri. I grew up there in Kirkwood, and I ended up going to Lehigh University, which brought me to the Lehigh Valley.
What made you choose Lehigh?
Well, gosh, I was looking for an engineering school. Kind of liberal arts engineering was the idea, and I came to visit it. And I don't know if you know Lehigh. It's like this East Coast school. I mean, listen, the audience, you know Lehigh, Kate. But it's a great university, and it was allowed me to get the engineering side education. And I never planned on staying here for the foreseeable future, but it's been 24 years now. I've been here. So
I was going to say it's had to be a while then at that point.
I don't know when the line between technically from
switches.
Yeah, but I was born in St. Louis.
Born in St. Louis.
Midwest boy.
Here, you were raised there too.
Yeah.
So you were born, raised, and then live.
And my brother Connor, he works here for us too.
Yeah.
Connor,
I want to
right over there.
Get on camera at some point, get some history and background on him too. Would be cool.
And I have another brother, Ross, who still lives in St. Louis.
Okay. All your family in St. Louis still, or?
Yeah, most of them, but yeah.
Now, at what age did you get your first aquarium, and what was it?
Well, I think I was probably around 7 or 8. Probably an interesting story, classic one in terms of a freshwater tank because, well, my grandma took me to the pet store. It actually happened to be a family friend who had a fish distribution business. And we got a 20-gallon tank with a gravel filter and some plastic plants. And just like many people do, we loaded in 30 or 40 freshwater fish all at once. And
bought the tank, gravel, everything, fish all at once.
Yeah,
and brought it home.
Didn't end it perfectly, but it was really awesome having an aquarium, and I was totally into it. It wasn't until actually when I was in college I kept a saltwater tank with Tim.
Okay.
When we were college
rooming
roommates.
together?
Yep, we were college roommates, and that was kind of how I got into the EcoTech game and learned about how to keep coral.
Nice. Now I have to ask, because my grandparents are guilty of this. Did your parents know you were bringing home a fish tank, or did they surprise them?
Oh, that's a good question. I only assume, but as grandparents do,
yes.
right? She would
Don't ask for permission.
She would take us to Toys R Us. You're like, go pick whatever you want. Just trying to, She picked the biggest thing, and we picked whatever we wanted, and she spoiled the crap out of us. So
that's good grandparent.
yeah. God bless her soul.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Gosh, that changed over the years. I think I wanted to be a doctor, when I was really little.
Okay.
And then
anything
eventually,
specific, like surgeon, just doctor?
That was probably 6-year-old me.
Okay.
And later on, I think, I just kind of caught the entrepreneurship bug, and it always ran in the family.
Okay.
My dad had his own business, his dad, and the other side of the family, my grandpa. So that's kind of where I was drawn. And when we were in school, I met Tim, and then through Tim I met Justin, and we started going to MACNAs together. I think the first MACNA I was at was in Kentucky in 2002.
Great location.
Yeah, I think it was Louisville. It was tiny. I mean, we're talking there was one room, not too much bigger than the one we're in right now. So that's back when there was the Kalkwasser reactor, and Tim and Justin were making those in their garages and sold a few of them on Reef Central or MIRC or wherever they were
chatting it up.
Chatting it up back in the day, yeah.
What's one of your hidden talents?
Okay, well, I'm working on a hidden talent.
You have to explain
and
that.
I haven't actually achieved it yet, but I've always wanted to be able to do a handstand and to walk around on my hands.
Okay.
I can't do it yet.
You can't.
But I'm working on it.
Your dream hidden talent.
My dream hidden talent,
You dream of having it.
Yes.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I think
Showstopper
so.
for sure.
I can get a little bit of time up there, but I'm not checking the box yet.
Gonna ask you like every month now.
I'm not doing it right here.
No,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
maybe if you twist my arm.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe later on in the year we'll have to have it prove it. One fun fact about you.
Oh, fun fact. Well, I do like to ski. Just went out with my family and teaching my daughter. I've got a 3-year-old daughter, and she got her on the slopes. That was really cool. And here's a good fun fact. I never had saltwater aquariums while I was at EcoTech over the last 10 years, but now that I've really gotten into it, I've got 3 tanks at my house.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stepped up the game because we always had tanks at the office,
Yep.
right? I had in my cube, in my various offices over the years. I had cuttlefish, which was really cool. We had 7 Sepia bendensis, and that's an amazing animal to keep. Just everything about them, they're so smart. They did lay eggs, they bred inside of the aquarium, and most recently I've got a big Peninsula water box, 220 gallons. So that's a mixed reef, heavily SPS, LPS, and then I'll have a lot of clams in there
now.
Thanks to John, Clam Mania.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. And so I'm working on a predator tank. I haven't got a predator yet in that tank, but I've got the tank set up.
You got bit by the bug hard.
Yeah. And then large marge is the
Yep.
clownfish that lives in the anemone tank, which is the kind of a frag style.
Those you don't know,
Yeah.
she was at the old office, a lightning maroon clownfish.
Not lightning.
Not lightning,
just
gold.
gold stripe maroon.
Gold stripe maroon, that's what she was, but she is a big one, been around for a very long time.
Yeah, one eye.
One eye, yep. Forgot
Large
about
marge
that.
has one eye.
Man, yeah. Can't even. She dates back before me, and I started like 7 years ago, so.
It's amazing how long saltwater fish.
It is.
You know?
And that's one thing I like about saltwater over freshwater. I feel like the lifespan of the fish, they stay with you longer.
Yeah, and I mean, there's cool freshwater fish. There are. But the connection that you can make with some of these, it's like, oh, you've
watch
had
them
a fish
grow,
for
too.
20 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously, and clownfish too, especially.
Yeah.
And they're personable. They'll come up, most of the time bite you, but they'll interact with you in the tank.
true.
Awesome. What's the favorite place you have visited?
Gosh, I've been able to be blessed enough to go a lot of places over the last, 20 years as part of EcoTech. I think that one of the coolest trips I did was with Justin, actually, and we went scuba diving with great whites off of the Neptune Islands.
That would be cool.
Of South Australia. So,
What year was that?
gosh, I'm going to guess that was probably around 2014,
Okay.
2015, somewhere in that time range. Yeah.
How many did you see? A lot?
Yeah, so this particular group lowered the cage about 20 feet down, and we saw one great white at a time, but I probably saw 4 individuals over that time.
Was it a solid cage? Scary? No?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah.
It didn't come and like try to get in the cage. I've seen that.
Yeah. Seen a
Online.
lot of those horror videos.
Yeah. Apparently, there's another guy named Patrick Clasen who wrestled a shark while free diving in the Gulf of Mexico.
That would have been a cool fun fact.
You can like look this up online, but I'm certainly not the coolest Patrick Clasen.
No,
This guy, like took down a shark. It wasn't a great white, but it was like a bull shark or something.
That's probably equally up there. I mean,
Yeah.
bull sharks are pretty
Oh
aggressive.
yeah.
Okay, not the coolest Patrick. That's a fun fact.
Yep, I admit.
What's one item on your bucket list?
So I've always wanted to scuba dive under the polar ice cap.
That would be scary,
Yeah.
but that would be awesome.
It's a part of the world so few people get to visit, and it's so inaccessible and ridiculous thing to do
Yeah.
that it's definitely
I feel
on my
like you need
list.
connections to make that happen. So
Connections or a lot of time on your hands.
yeah, I feel like travel there is not as easy.
Well, you got to get on a boat that goes and, I don't know,
Breaks through ice.
breaks through ice. I'm not even sure. Like,
Didn't research yet.
yeah, I Googled it at some point, but I think that's a bucket list item for me.
That's a good one. Awesome. That is the last question I have for you. I definitely appreciate you taking your time and doing this, and I hope everyone enjoyed.
No problem. Glad to be here.